Okay, at least according to what I see on my laptop, seems that we are live now. And I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening for another VC pitching session by InnMind, which is dedicated for crypto, blockchain, DeFi infrastructure startups. So those who are building the infrastructure for further industry development. And as usually, we want to start before startup pitches, start with great VC investors who joined us today and who are scouting for the best projects to select for their portfolios. I would love to ask our great VCs to introduce themselves briefly and their investment thesis so that it will be clear for everyone. How do you invest? In what kind of projects are you investing? And what is the value add you are bringing on table in addition to cash? And I want to invite to introduce themselves further, and Jonathan, our older friends and partners from 369 Capital, great VC, which is based in Switzerland. Who wants to take a word?
I'll jump in here. Thank you very much, Nelly. Yeah, we're a Switzerland-based fund that is mainly investing in DeFi, GameFi, and NFT-related projects on an infrastructure level. And we're looking forward to today. Thank you very much.
Thank you further. Jonathan, would you like to add a few words?
Hey guys, great to be here. Yeah, as Nelly said, I think, yeah, we always enjoy to have these pitching sessions with you. Looking forward to see some exciting projects. And yeah, let's go.
And okay, a small comment from my side, since I know 369 Capital for quite a long time, they're very much value added VC. And you can even read some reviews about how many added value they bring on table from startup founders on our recent product released a couple of days ago. Crypto VC rating. You will find it on InnMind, and maybe our team will drop a link to the live chat and in the comments. So great to see you guys joining us. Thank you. Yeah, and I see also two other partners from one VC just joined us, Sasha and Carmelio from Arcanum Ventures. We just yesterday recorded a great interview with Sasha about crypto VC decision-making. It will be published tomorrow morning on our YouTube channel. So highly recommend everyone to watch and to learn from it. Sasha or Carmelio, would you like to introduce Arcanum Ventures briefly?
Yeah, how's it going, everybody? I'm Carmelo. I'm one of the co-founders. Sasha's right next to me, but he's having a little bit of internet trouble. But yeah. We're a VC based out of Thailand, but currently we're in Europe, and we're relatively small, like boutique VC and advisory firm. And we like to invest, you know, in crypto projects, but also companies, startup companies outside of blockchain as well, too, when the opportunity comes our way.
Awesome, Carmelio. Thanks a lot for this short intro. And I see that both of you like to speak from jungles, yeah? I love your background.
Yeah.
German jungles. Okay, so right now I would like to give a word to Sharuya Dan from TDefi. Sharuya,
hey Nelly.
Hi, nice to meet you, and sorry if I misspelled your name. Would you like to introduce your investment thesis briefly?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for having us here, and we're looking forward to, you know, having a look at all the startups that come over today. So we are from TDefi and TDVC. So TDVC is our venture capital arm, and TDefi is our incubation and advisory arm. Through TDVC, we usually invest into projects from the Web3 ecosystem, from check sizes ranging from 100K to 2 million. Obviously, due to the current market conditions, our sweet spot is about 200 to 500K. But yeah, that is what we are currently investing. Right.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for your introduction. And I hope that we will know about TDefi quite soon. Learn more about it. I mean, I want to invite now to take a mic Joe Su from Stratified Capital. Joe, would you like to give a brief intro?
Sure. Like Stratified Capital, we're registered in Singapore, size about 100 mil. So our portfolio cover from consensus layer, DeFi, infrastructure, and many other things. So pretty diversified. So we are looking to two key factors. One will be the technology barriers, and another will be the potential for the mass adoptions. So we are looking to two critical things. I hope to hear more in this session today.
It is very short, but very, very clear description of your focus. Thanks a lot for elaborating on this. I want to invite another old friend of ours, Ivan Semenov, managing partner at Cryptomeria Capital. Ivan, would you like to give a brief intro?
Hi guys, the pleasure is always to be here, Nelly. I'm Ivan from Cryptomeria Capital. We're a venture capital and a venture builder firm. We invest in projects along the broad spectrum of blockchain, actually invest in equity as well. On the builder side, we have our own projects in the gaming, metaverse, and media space mostly, but also help a few other projects on a need basis.
Cool, Ivan. Now you're fully operational already, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, awesome to hear it. I hope one day we will celebrate your closure.
We will definitely.
Okay, now what about Alex Hughes from HyperEdge Capital? Alex, would you like to give a few? Oh, he's just joining, so let's let Alex connect his microphone. And instead, I want to give a word to Mona Tiesler from Tokentus Investment AG. Mona?
Hi guys, sorry, I'm currently in transit, so I cannot turn on my camera, but yeah, lovely to meet you. I just joined, so I assume the situation is to give introductions. So I'm Mona, I'm a VC investment manager for Tokentus Investments. It's a German venture capital fund based only on investing into DeFi and infrastructure players in Web3. So very focused. We have 14 investments to date, usually invest in seed plus rounds, so mainly the Series A rounds, and are at the moment equity investors. We do hybrid rounds, but prefer equity at the current market situation. Yeah, and ticket sizes are between 500K and 1.5 million euros. Yeah, anything else you would like me to mention?
Mona, thanks a lot for this brief but very, very clear intro. And yeah, that is great that you're investing in equity, since on a bear market, a lot of projects are opening equity rounds instead of
yes.
So it's really nice to hear that you're open for both hybrid and
Absolutely, thank you.
Thanks a lot for the intro. And I want to give a mic to Alex Hughes from HyperEdge Capital. Alex, would you like to introduce your investment thesis? Alex, you're muted. Okay, seems Alex has some problems because
I think he left the meeting. He might join again. Yes.
Yeah.
He has some problems apparently.
Then Brett Susser from Blockchain Founders Fund.
Sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, so my name is Brett. I'm based in New York, but Blockchain Founders Fund is a Singapore-based venture capital fund. We focus entirely on blockchain companies across a variety of different use cases, including GameFi, NFTs, obviously infrastructure, DeFi, kind of you name it. We typically invest in pre-seed and seed rounds, but can go up to Series A. And we also are kind of split. We in this market are leaning towards equity investments, but are definitely open to tokens as well.
That is cool to hear. Thanks a lot for introducing it to us. What about Giga Bokuchava from A+ Ventures?
Hey guys, hi. Thank you for having me here today. A Plus Ventures, that's a private equity firm originally based in Dubai. However, myself, I'm joining from Lithuania, Eastern Europe right now. What we do is essentially we have two main arms. The first one is an investment arm, obviously. So to put it this way, we are an industry agnostic. However, the recent focus is on DeFi compliance projects and health tech related projects. So we are targeting on longevity related projects. That's our aim for now. When it comes to the venture studio, what we do is we incubate and accelerate projects no matter at what stage they are. We help them with the fundraising, with the incubation, and various other value adds.
Awesome, Giga. Thanks a lot for this intro. And I think the last but not least for today among investors, I want to invite Urko Garmendia from Digital Gold Capital. Very ambitious company name, fund name. Urko? Urko? Okay.
Yes, so Urko just apologized. He had an emergency now.
Okay, so if they join late, if he joins later, he will be able to introduce himself. And I want to invite a reminder to all VC investors who are here with us today. You heard yourself that very often you have quite complementing investment thesis, investment focus, and many of you guys and ladies, you are also combining VC investments with some acceleration and incubation facilities for startups, which means that you have a lot of potential synergy between investors. If you'd like us to introduce you with another investor for co-investment opportunities or whatever, just ping our team after this session and let us know. We will gladly make warm introduction. So you don't need to buy tickets and fly to some offline events. The best network is happening on InnMind online. Okay, and now the most interesting part, why we are here today, startup pitches. And to start with, I want to invite co-founder and CPO at Palmswap, Bernd Stockel.
Hey,
thank you
for the, yeah, sure, born ready.
Please share your screen, your pitch deck, and don't forget you have 5 minutes to pitch. I will not limit your Q&A with investors, but 5 minutes is a hard limit, okay?
All right, good. Shall I share my screen now?
Yeah, of course.
Great.
The stage is fully yours.
Wonderful.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. All right, I'm just gonna minimize this here. All right, good. Nice to meet you, everybody. So today I want to introduce you to Palmswap, a new perpetual decentralized exchange. And so, yeah, let's kick it off. What makes Palmswap different to other perpetual DEXs and what makes us unique? First of us, we implemented low slippage through our dynamic virtual automated market making model, basically. That's like the order execution mechanism that we are using. Low transaction costs because we're running on BSC. We implemented all on-chain order types that you normally have on centralized exchanges. Means like stop loss, take profits, limit orders, conditional orders, market orders, all fully on-chain. And we're the first perpetual DEX with an affiliate program similar to Bybit. So the problems that you currently have on on-chain DEXs is basically high slippage, inadequate tool support, especially when we are looking in the perpetual space. A lot of perpetual DEXs don't have stop losses, take profits or limit orders, which is like a must-have if you trade perpetuals, and high cost as well sometimes. How we are solving this, I just explained in the previous slide, basically, but I guess we're going to dive deeper into that on the Q&A after. So if we look at current exchange types, on this slide, I mainly want you to focus on the volume, all right? On centralized exchanges, we got like in the perpetual space, Bybit, Binance Futures, and so on. We picked Bybit here. So their volume in Q1 this year was $700 billion. And we have hybrid exchanges like DYDX, probably as well very famous. Hybrid means, in their case, on-chain onboarding and off-chain, so it means centralized order execution. And then we have on-chain perpetual DEXs. There's like Perpetual Protocol, I guess, one of the most famous perpetual DEXs out there, and their volume is significantly lower. Why is that? Because they don't have the same tools like you have normally in the centralized market, and the slippage is a lot higher. So the volume that we predicted for Palmswap is higher for multiple reasons in that case, because we bring these tools to the market, we implemented a lower slippage compared to perpetual protocol, and we have massive exposure due to influencer and KOL marketing. So if we look one more slide on the derivative market, we see here on the left-hand side that still around 97% of the total volume in the perpetual markets is on centralized exchanges, whereas only 3% is in the decentralized market. And as we have seen already a shift on like PancakeSwap and Uniswap and so on, users like to trade on DEXs. And we believe that this switch from the centralized into the decentralized environment is yet to come. And that's why we do believe that right now is the perfect time to invest into decentralized derivatives. Our MVP is completely ready and ready to launch. We are live on BSC testnet. We had around 18,000 wallets that registered and claimed tokens. And our trading competition, we had around 5,000 traders in 2 weeks with around over $300 million in volume. And in total, we had almost 500,000 transactions on our testnet so far. This is the average daily volume and user growth prediction. We took as an example here DYDX, and we subtracted 20% basically of their users in order to keep it realistic, because where they are is probably where every perpetual DEX would like to go at some point. So based on that, we calculated these user growth. Tokenomics here, I'm not going to dive too deep into it. I think we're going to do that maybe later in the Q&A. Important to mention probably here is the 49% that we're using is ecosystem. It's like staking, farming, and as well the trade to earn program that we're having. Sales rounds and what are we offering right now to investors? We kept the seed sale open for investors for the particular reason. We wanted to first deliver the product and then go and pitch investors basically to invest in our seed. There's another $1 million open for investment basically in the seed right now. And we raised another $1 million as well already from private sale investors. The token release schedule basically is like from each round. It is we had to modify it quite often due to the market situations. We try to keep attend to the longevity as well of the project. So the last tokens in circulation is going to be after 9 years, and that's going to be over the trading cycles and trade to earn program. Very important to mention is that we will first launch the product and after launch the token. So once we launch the token, we will have multiple utilities. You can stake the token and as well then benefit from reduced fees. You can farm it and generate rewards, and the trade to earn program basically. We will implement the governance feature by Q1 2023. About the roadmap, we have the mainnet launch scheduled for next month, and then as well we will launch our affiliate program and as well the retroactive reward program. And after that, we are going to straight up start developing V2 of the exchange, which is going to be a hybrid type of exchange and the cross-chain compatibility. The user funding budget, basically, what are we raising funds for? It's mainly development, operational cost and future employees, and marketing and partnerships. Our team is diverse, young, and how I like to call it, we are a decentralized exchange, a perpetual DEX built by perpetual traders for perpetual traders. The three founders have around 5 years now, each in perpetual trading experience since BitMEX introduced it. And our team is now 14 people big, 11 employees on our payroll. So as I said, we have raised $1.3 million so far. Crypto Aces basically was the VC that we have on board so far. We are incubated by TDefi, so it's nice as well to see someone from a TDefi family in the call. And other than that, we raised from private investors and from influencers. So we got Mooncall, DaVinci J15, Crypto Zombie, Four Flies, and a bunch of other Bybit strong movers on board, and they are very happy to push the affiliate program with us. So that's it. I hope I managed to stay within the 5-minute time frame. We put in a year of work into that project, and we are pretty much ready to launch. So we are looking for the last strategic partners now to onboard, and we look forward to build the future of decentralized perpetual with you guys.
Thank you, Bernd. You really made it in perfect timing, and great presentation. Now I welcome VC investors to ask questions. Did you miss anything in presentation or want to clarify some aspects? Who wants to ask? Don't forget to unmute yourself to ask questions.
I'd like to ask a question, Nelly.
Sure.
No, Bernd, thank you for presenting.
Or keep it on.
I'm sorry, I think there's a delay in my mic. Yeah, so I just wanted to ask if you can elaborate a bit on the trade to earn program, and what does your vision look like for that over the next 2-3 years of Palmswap going live?
Of course. I really like your background, by the way. It's I really miss that when I'm in Dubai.
Thank you.
So basically, the trade to earn program is pretty simple. It rewards users to trade on our DEX. So that means the more volume you trade on our DEX, the more of an airdrop basically you're going to get. Or it's less of an airdrop. It's like, it's like a reward basically. And we will run trading competitions and so on over time. So we will reduce fees and so on in order to incentivize that.
Understood. So do you foresee any issues with, obviously this model will thrive on transaction fees and trading volume. Do you foresee any issues of anyone taking advantage of the system and trying to maybe wash sale or trade back and forth to take advantage of trade and earn rewards that you'd be giving out in certain promotions?
It could be, maybe, yeah. It could be, yeah. I mean, in the end of the day, we're a decentralized exchange, right? So you cannot control everything, right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sasha, for your question and comment. I think it's good thought for the founding team. Any other questions to Bernd? Joshua, welcome.
There's one more thing that I would like to add. Maybe I misunderstood your question. It's like we will still earn on fees, like it's not like we're giving out all the fees or whatever, all the tokens that just because people do wash trading, So. Yeah.
Yeah, understood. So I'm wondering, just to clarify again, this is not an equity raise. This is a token sale raise.
Token. Yeah.
Okay.
We are not willing to sell on equity at this current stage because we have put in money from our side, not too less. So selling on equity before the product goes live a month before, I know that we would sell ourselves short, at the current point of time. So I a smart move. You agree?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the way to go. I'm just wondering how the system will funnel value back into the token holders, right? Is there any discussions or anything built in the model where revenue from transaction fees will be diverted back into the token economy, for example, a buy and burn or control mechanisms?
We have buyback and burn. Yeah. So basically 50% of all the transaction fees are going to go into buyback and burn. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think Joshua wants to ask a question, right?
Yeah, I was just wondering about, being a decentralized exchange, but is obviously KYC is a getting stronger issue. How does that work? Is it just KYC free?
KYC free, registration free, connect your wallet, deposit, start trading.
Awesome.
100% decentralized.
So how does that work if you guys are going to have a central company and equity in terms of liability?
Well, as I said, we are 100% non-custodial. I mean, of course, at some point you have to have an entity somehow, right? I don't really believe in having a business and just making a smart contract. That's it, right? But we're not. The whole value that we create in the company is going to be in the token, because we are a DEX, right? So what is the only value that you have as a DEX? It's the token.
Yeah. So can people create other, I guess because it's DEX, it's all smart contracts, so people can create other interfaces?
Pardon me?
So other people can create an interface to interact with your smart contracts?
No, it's all run basically on our interface.
Okay, so how's that decentralized?
Well, the whole interface basically, like you just connect it basically, and it's all run on the smart contract. Or maybe I misunderstand the question.
No, because it's a smart contract, anyone should be able to connect to the smart contract. And
okay, wait. My CTO is just telling me, yeah, it's possible. Yeah, so
yeah,
I'm not a techie, so yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Sounds interesting, by the way. Really cool stuff.
If you want to connect later, guys, just let us know, and we will gladly introduce you.
Thank you.
Any more questions to Bernd about Palmswap? I think not at the moment, so you can elaborate later on private conversations. Thanks a lot, Bernd, for your presentation.
Thanks, and danke to the German guys in here.
Bitte, yeah, there are quite a lot of.
Yeah, I realized in the intro.
And before we move forward with startup presentations, I see that Jason from Autonomy Capital joined us. Jason, would you like to introduce briefly Autonomy Capital investment thesis?
Hey, Nelly, I'm listening passively. I'm in the middle of working out. So let's see. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, quite well.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's a surprise. So yeah, I'm not going to turn my camera on because I'm in my gym. But essentially, Autonomy is kind of looking forward, and we're attempting to front run a lot of the things we see today. You know, censorship, the government being overbearing as far as the SEC and things like that are concerned. So I actually got into the Palmswap. I jumped in when Palmswap was about halfway done. That's definitely something I'd be interested in looking at. Just any kind of decentralized anything moving forward, because as far as government overreach and stuff is concerned, like that's a big thing for us. So yeah, I wasn't prepared to speak. Sorry about that, Nelly. I'm going to jump off now and let everything continue.
No worries, Jason. Since you joined, does not matter if you're listening passively or actively. I just wanted you to introduce Autonomy Capital investment focus to other participants, so both investors and startups understand what kind of projects you're investing in.
Perfect. Basically, privacy, decentralized finance type projects. Of course, there's been this huge boom in GameFi and stuff lately. And so we've invested in some of those projects, mainly more studios over individual games, because we feel like there's more value there. But really, we're kind of open to anything as long as there's a good mechanism to drive value back into the token economy itself.
Awesome. Jason, thanks a lot for this brief intro. Even if you didn't plan to tell anything, thanks a lot for clearing this up.
Thank you.
I want to invite now to speak Angel Ramirez, co-founder and CEO at Cuemby. Angel, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Let me share my
We
screen.
are looking forward. Please start to share your screen.
Absolutely.
The pitch deck. Awesome.
Can you
Yeah,
guys confirm?
I see it.
Awesome. All right, guys. So here's what I bring. I bring up it's a platform as a service, but the way that we're doing it, we say it is more like a unified plane, control plane for the everything related with blockchain and infrastructure. And as you can see there, with all intention, we basically put a whole strike on the Kubernetes side, because that actually is what we are experts in. So what we're doing is basically taking the burden of learning all those tools for the infrastructure in the blockchain space and we just simplify it for them. But the point is why we're doing that. And the reason why we're doing it is because same as Web2 or Web1, for that matter, Web3 had the same issue, which is infrastructure. At the end, regardless if we're doing, decentralized, centralized, whatever, it's always end up in like how we manage resources, how we deploy those nodes, how people keep the security, how people make sure that all those nodes are running properly. But the best way to explain it, and I like it, is to use a cheesecake. Who doesn't like it, right? It's really nice to say. But the point is, when you look at the cheesecake, what you get is that the strawberry and the cream, that is what the business logic that you're building. That's the smart contract, all these nice, cool applications that everyone's building. But what people doesn't know about is like what goes underneath. And people have to be basically experts in infrastructure to bring those nodes live, create those networks, making sure that it's compatible with Rust, compatible with Solidity, whatever it is. So what we did is, how about I show you how you pick the ingredients to build that cheesecake. So this is how you do it. So all those companies basically are dealing with this. They're dealing with what open source tool should I use? What is the connection that I should use? What is the type of networking that actually makes sense? All of that. So, and I'm not going to bore you with this because I know it's overwhelming, even for me that I'm an expert in this one. So what we did is we just simplify. So what if we put all that together in just one platform that is still going to be decentralized, but what we're basically providing is resources for those projects. So just to give you an example of this, we're basically taking everything related with provisioning of the resources, the runtime, the monitoring, security, all that putting in one encapsulated software. And then we have what we call the enablement platform. And for the enablement platform, this is where the blockchain comes interesting, because now we're basically providing to every blockchain company all the underlying infrastructure that they need to deploy their software. So now they can actually start running nodes without thinking about, should I use an EC2 instance on AWS or a Google Cloud, or should I bring my own Raspberry Pi? What should I do? So you just forget about that because we're providing that network already for you. You just submit your software and we just take care of the rest. How it works is basically very simple. We have two types of actors here. We have the consumers and we have the providers. So the providers, we call it a community, and partners. The community is anyone who has a server or want to just be part of it because they have a DigitalOcean account and they just want to join the provider. They can just do it. The partners actually is anyone who is an institution that also have hardware and want to provide hardware to the ecosystem. Actually, we just have a partnership with Equinix Metal. We recently closed that partnership where they're basically providing the hardware for itself and also for anyone who wants to join as a provider. And also, of course, we provide a way for people to create their own networks, type of resources so they can use, right? And the consumer side, well, it's very simple. You pay as you go, or you can have some dedicated resources that you pre-acquire, or you can just bring your own, as simple as that. And just to give you more context of what this actually matters for a company or any organization, basically their productivity goes up because now your DevOps, cloud engineers, SRE, all those become more productive and they don't have to be an expert in every single tool to build infrastructure. That, of course, drive cost reduction, performance, and we call it that we have what is an embedded CISO, because we as a company already put all the security in the software, so you don't have to worry about it. And who's behind it? This is the team. Right here in the call, we have my partner and CVO, Hitomi, and also Krister. We have an advisor, Jim Chappell. He's basically a master in all these pros, platforms as a service. But about the company, basically, we not only basically building this platform, we also have a great community where we teach people about the Kubernetes technology, containers, and all that. We're locked in on the CNCF. We're part of that group for a long time. We have a YouTube channel with over 1,000 subscribers. People go and watch our videos about how to use Kubernetes appropriately, security, infrastructure, all that. And just to show you that we're not stopping there. So basically, this is our roadmap. We want to support blockchain companies, but we also want to make sure that other type of industry can benefit of this blockchain connection, because now fintech company can use and bridge with blockchain company, because that's the other problem that we have, is that traditional applications, they also want to leverage these blockchain companies, the blockchain technology, but they don't know how to bridge that. So providing a platform that now simplifies that process, basically they can start leveraging those capabilities. And this is it. I know I have one more minute, and I did it on purpose because I wanted to show you something very cool. We just recently had a nice conversation with one of the companies that are also here in InnMind. It's called The Power, and they have a pretty cool solution that you can deploy your own network using the software. So we wanted to try how hard it would be for us to just integrate that in our platform quickly, and we just did it. And I'm not going to do the whole process because it takes about 4 minutes, so I don't want to consume my time. But just to show you right here, TP Node 0 is basically launched, and you can see we just basically with a couple of clicks already have a whole test network for this blockchain company. So I'm gonna stop right here because I'm pretty sure that is probably the questions or something like that.
Yeah, Angel, thank you. I just wanted to interrupt you because of timing. I guess there should be questions since I know, yeah, Ivan, please go on.
Hey, Angel, thank you very much for your presentation. I have two questions. First one, how do you deal with the security issues? I mean, because integrating many pieces of software always creates compounded risks, right? So essentially, you're putting yourself, you're not only taking, let's say, all the heavy duty work, you're also taking all the risks on yourself for these guys. So that's the first question. Well, probably answer that.
So yeah, so the security is, there's multiple layers of security, right? So what we do is that we make sure that the whole infrastructure, the whole network is secure. Of course, we cannot ensure, for example, if someone wants to launch their own network and they're coding, they're doing their Rust code or whatever, it's hard for us as infrastructure to basically secure all that layer at that point, but we can secure the whole infrastructure resources. So they don't need to deal about it. Okay, so your networking is appropriate, so you're using the right subnet. So all that base security, that's the one that we take care of. But the application security, of course, is on their side. However, what we do for that is that we provide all the monitoring tools. So when you deploy an application, even if you don't take care of the security, we're giving you everything. Hey, this is your logs, this is your metrics, this is what's going on. We detect this because we're doing a scanning. So that's kind of how we manage that part that we can control.
Understood. And the second question is, from what you said, I understood you're already working with a couple of big service providers, right? So what is like the hurdles for scaling and growth that you have? Because obviously you have to buy capacity from them, right? Or you have to pay
not necessarily, because it's kind of like, so right now we do have our base infrastructure, right? That's the one that we partner with Equinix, but the solution is like completely agnostic. So I can deploy this anywhere I want. So at the end, we're just adding more resources to the pool. Just think about this as a pool of resources. So I don't have to buy all the resources. Anyone who has some resources and they want to join, they just join and those resources become available. So I don't have to buy all the resources. I just need to provide the base network and everyone else can just join.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ivan. Any more questions to Angel? Joe, you want to ask a question?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
So yeah, thank you, Angel, for bringing out these great projects. I got two questions. First, will be about customization. You just mentioned about you could do some customization for each product. So how deep will the customization go, and what is your capability of the team to do so? And the second question will be, what's the valuations for? Thank you.
Okay, so the first question, let me just rectify. I didn't do any customization at all. I used the
really?
Yeah, the one thing that we do need to make sure is that at least the solution that we want to deploy is container. We can containerize it. Like if we can containerize it, we have the whole the whole system ready for that. And if we need to, then we just containerize and deploy. But I didn't do any customization. Yeah, I just deploy. That's it.
Okay, I see. Okay, so it's more like, you know, people come here and contribute what they get, and together forms kind of community things, and so it's like source pool, right?
So it's kind of think about the Heroku for blockchain infrastructure, put it that way. So now what I mean about blockchain solution is that I still have to do some steps here to deploy. But what I definitely want to do is to get to a point where say, hey, you know what, you want to launch this network, let's call it the power, the net, just one click and get it done. But that is not a customization. That's a feature that we actually want to do for anyone. So anyone that have that capability.
Okay, got it. And what about the valuation so far?
Pardon me?
The valuation so far.
Okay, so right now what we are raising is 1.5, and we're looking for 6.5 pre-money in equity.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe, for your questions. Any more questions to Angel?
Sorry, I didn't understand this. It's equity, but you will have your own token eventually now as well, no?
Yes, yeah. Eventually we will have our own token. We're just not getting to that point yet. We want to make sure that everything is ready before we do that.
So equity will be with a token warrant or without?
We don't have that desire at this point, but we could talk about that offline.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Since it's an equity raise, Mona, would you like to ask a question, or everything is clear for you?
Sorry, I struggle a bit I'm listening more passively, but no, I have no questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. If there are no more questions for Angel, then let's move forward. Angel, thanks a lot for your presentation.
Thank you.
You made a great job. And next time you talk to VCs, you start with the fact that you're already operational and revenue generating business. I think that it will make your pitch more clear from the first seconds. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for the feedback.
Okay, great. So the next one, the startup I want to invite to pitch is Pledged Capital from Portugal. Guillaume Provent. Guillaume, are you ready?
Hello, everyone. Yes, I am ready. Yes.
Hi, Guillaume. I like the energy.
But I'm ready. Yeah.
Please start.
Actually, the company is based in Portugal, yes, but me, I'm based in Marbella. So we are in the same country at the moment.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Muy bien, gracias. Usted.
So let's switch to English, and please switch on your screen share and share your presentation. And by the way, while you are doing this, I remind to the founders that if you see that another startup can become a potential partner for you for cross-marketing, biz dev, R&D, also let us know, because you should use all the networking opportunities to build your business development. Let us know. We will gladly introduce you not only with investors, but also with other founders. Okay, so can you please make your presentation bigger?
Yeah.
Increase it. Okay, good. So 5 minutes, Guillaume. Please go on.
Okay, super. So basically, we are Pledged Capital, a decentralized fundraising platform. And what is the problems that we have noticed? It's nowadays we are all experiencing collective losses, right? What I mean by that is we are all funding projects and we have zero security or impact in the project that we are funding. We are facing problem where project funders are sit on gigantic amount of money without doing anything with these funds, right? Sometimes they even rug pull, sometimes they even scam, or sometimes they even misspend it, right? Other issue that that inspired us for this project is that there is a lot of projects that say that they are doing A, but at the end of the day, they will do Z, right? For example, out of my personal experience, I did in 2020 found an AI project for 80,000 tickets. And after 1 year of development, the project turned out to be a shared computational farming platform. Right, so all the investors was very sad, and yet that drive the price like close to zero. So what is the solution that how we can see your solution out of that? It's basically we are building an easy to use platform to drive mass adoption and to provide key feature. What are the key features? The key features are an oracle that we are building with Supra Oracle to provide trusted and fair allocation, right? So in a short term, what we are doing is we are studying the behavior of our users, if they are holders, stakers, accumulators, dumpers, and based on that, we are providing a score that is giving to them a right to invest in some different projects, right? Then the second key feature that we are proposing to solve that, it's to take the investment that is made to a project and to put it into an escrow, waiting for a milestone to be hit. Right? Once the milestone is hit, what we want to do, it's connecting that to a DAO and giving the investor a way to agree on the milestone hit or not, right? Through a vote, through a DAO. This DAO has a litigation period, 1 week litigation with IPFS, where project owner can put files showing proof, bills, invoice, and so on, right? And get in contact with the investor to say, okay, we have reached that milestone, and if this first litigation is not solved by a positive agreement, then what's happened? We have a last litigation for 1 month, and if the vote casted happen to be a no, then we can trigger a refund to the investors, right? To kind of give a way to interact with the project that you are funding, right? And then what we are planning to build, it's an in-depth chat, right? Where you can control the access of the chat through NFTs, right? So for example, if you invested 100,000 into a project, you will have an NFT that's coming with, and this NFT will give you a certain level of tier chat to be able to discuss with the same level of investor that you are meeting, right? No, we know that's very difficult to go into a Telegram channel and say, hey, I dropped 100,000 into that project, because you don't want that the scammers look at you and so on. So we are offering that into the DApp, right? The status of the DApp is like this, right? So you are here, you have an investment, you have a dashboard there where you can implement files. Obviously, we're working on a KYC side. That's a different full topic that could deserve a DNA. You can see the project that are here. You can apply for a funding, right? You have all the details of a project that's coming here. You have, for now, the MVP on the chat. We are just gathering partner here and there in order to promote their chats, right? The staking is the staking, yield farming. We have an NFT collection that we are dropping here. That's just to give you a little sense of what we are building, the UI that we are selecting, and how we are moving. So basically, that was about the product. Now let's speak about the business model, which is over here. Yeah, it's a little messy, guys. I'm sorry. So in terms of business model, how we are seeing it, it's definitely, we understood that it's all about networking. So we have built a network of VCs partner that we have now 3 following us. We are working with marketing agency, Luna, Santori, and others that are bringing to us projects, commercial prospection. We went there. We are going to summit and stuff, right, to meet some project that want to go. And also we have a plan for non-crypto prospection, right? Because fund can be held into an escrow that can be shared. Like you can imagine that it can cover also. We are thinking a lot about construction sites, building, and all those things that are gigantic funds and waiting for something to happen, right? We call it agenda-based events, right? That can work with concert, world tour, and so on. So what we are doing, we are applying 14,000 fees on the, we are applying a 14,000 licensing fees that we stressed out already. That's working. The people are willing to use it, right? Because we already had some offers that we had to turn down because the current market is not good and we are not finished with our own fundraising. And on those 14,000, we are redirecting 4,000 directly to the project to a burn and buy function, right? The funds that we are holding in escrow while waiting for a milestone to be hit are shared in that way. We are giving an extra 15% for the project owner. We are keeping 15% for us. We are dropping 50% of that yield for the investors, and we are dropping 20% for every gain token holders, right? Important things.
Sorry for interrupting you, but you're over 5 minutes already. To make it fair for everyone, please finish with the last phrase of yours, last important phrase, and then we will move to Q&A.
Yeah, sure. So I was saying that in our business model, the most important thing is that the yield farm that we are doing from the project that we are funding is not distributed in terms of stablecoin, because obviously we are doing that through stablecoin, and we have that's important. We are insuring our funds with Polka cover, which is they did rebranded recently, and those funds are distributed into gain tokens. So what we do with that yield, so you say we have 10,000 yield out for project A, we are going to buy our own token, and we will drop people their yield out of our own token that we just bought. So we are creating a buying pressure, right? And we are giving the opportunity to people to keep staking and accumulating our token, or to sell it for profits. But again, that will impact the Oracle and stuff, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm really sorry. Believe me, I don't like to interrupt the founders, but we need to make it fair for everyone.
Yeah, sure. I knew it. Yeah.
Thank you, Guillaume, for your understanding.
Yes.
So, questions to Guillaume or comments, feedback is also very well appreciated from VCs. Ivan Simonov, I know. Yeah.
I have, I guess, a comment which you're welcome to rebuttal. A couple of weeks ago, there was a very similar startup, actually in the same pitching session. And I'll ask you the same question. I mean, there's a reason why VCs usually fund startups 18 months ahead or so, or 2 years ahead. The reason for that being is that you want founders to focus on building their product and not talking to VCs 24/7. So essentially what I think your product will create is, well, and another fact of life is that startups are always late. That's just a fact of life as well. So I think what you're creating in the end is you're creating a lot of headache for the founder, for, let's say, the minimum perceived comfort of retail investor. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think that's not a hassle to have a clear stated roadmap and to know where is going your funds. I mean, that every VC should be very interested to know that, okay, the 200,000 that I will give are here, and all the community, the funds that I give are here, and I can know where those funds is allocated. And if you are not agree with the people, if you're not agree with the project, you can actually tell them that you are not agreed through a vote, and you can push them to improve and go in the way that they were supposed to go, right? That's a kind of way of creating. Of course, you can be just an investor and be interested to buy your token and then to make profit. But I do believe that there is more VC that are smart money, right? That wants to follow the project and that want to be sure that they are going in a good way.
But
that's my vision.
Smart money means that I will have calls with you every week and know what you're doing without any piece of software where you can arbitrarily put something. That's hands-on. Hands-on is not monitoring software. Hands-on is helping you and talking to you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Then that's the same. If you can pilot that through simple clicks, you have some notification that come, hey, the project C came to the stage 3. They were supposed to do their audits. They were supposed to be listed in top 15 exchange. They were supposed to have a reach out of 25,000 in social media. Okay, have they done that? Yeah, okay, for that milestone, they want 250,000. I think that's a very nice way to keep controlling your investments, right? Through a milestone fund release system.
I mean, I think probably to a point, yes, and in some situations it makes sense to do. I just don't think you can call it a blanket rule. Let's say, I don't know, but I would love to hear some comments from other VCs. Maybe I'm completely out of line here as well.
Yeah, I also would like to hear comments from other VCs. And Guillaume, by the way, this is all your target audience, not only investors who potentially can invest, but also those who will probably use or not use your product, right? So it should be priceless to have their feedback, honest feedback.
Sure.
Guys.
I wanted to, Guillaume, oh, go ahead. Someone was talking.
I'm sorry. So my name is Samarveer. I'm from the TDVC group. So I have a question. I just wanted to understand more on the validation system. So how would you decide how it would be determined that the milestone is hit or not yet?
So that's everything is piloted through DAO. That's the investors of the said project that can cast a vote and say that the milestone is hit. First, we are taking the milestone with the project, right? During the due diligence, we are building the milestones with them. We are implementing this milestone into smart contracts, right? And when it's a time to have a milestone, the project say, hey, we have reached that. And when they say that, it's sending a notification to all the investors. They say, hey, you have a vote to cast, right? So they can say, okay, I'm agreed, they did that, they did that. The project can implement files and prove stuff. And they also have a private chat room where they can discuss that between them.
Okay.
Kind of council, right? Thank you, Samar.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Samar, for your question. Sasha, you wanted to give a feedback or to ask question?
Oh, no, actually, I was going to ask a similar question. Thank you, Nelly.
Please go. You wanted to ask, please go on. Or
was the same, I guess.
No, yeah, I was going to ask a similar question.
Sorry,
I apologize if I'm having microphone issues.
No, maybe I have my ears issues, so no problems. Okay, so Guillaume, thanks a lot. I think the rest questions or discussions you can hold on private. And I already see that in Telegram, Mark Nazar, venture analyst at InnMind, started already make first interest between VCs and startups who wanted to follow up. So great to see it. And I hope that we will have more interest and more follow-ups for the deal soon.
It's going really well. Okay.
Great. Yeah, staying in Spain, another startup from Spain. The company is called Brickken, and the founder and CRO, Ludovico Rossi. Ludovico, are you ready?
No, I'm taking over Ludovico. My name is Edwin Mata. I'm the CEO and co-founder.
Oh, sorry.
So,
I didn't know that you will be pitching and not Ludovico. Welcome, Edwin. Of course.
No, don't worry. We pitch the same. We have the same sales skills. It's fine. Don't worry. So thank you very much for inviting me, obviously. Yeah, I'm going to take your advice. I'm in monetization. I do have a product. I do have paying clients. And I'm crushing the tokenization market. So let's start by that. Let me share my screen so I can do my presentation. So basically, yeah, we can see it. Okay, thank you very much. Let's see here. Screen.
Don't make me interrupt you. You have 5 minutes to pitch. It's
Don't
more
worry.
than enough time. Yeah, welcome.
Yeah. All right, thank you. So thank you very much. My name is Edwin Mata. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Brickken. My background is I'm specialized as an M&A lawyer, then in the security law, and then obviously blockchain, which is what I'm here. And we are Brickken. Our motto is actually bringing companies on chain. So actually, what does that mean? So over the past 2 years, we've been a tokenization platform of grabbing any kind of asset, especially in the real estate sector, and then breaking it down into tokens with equal value and equal rights, obviously. And obviously, as we started engaging more in the vertical, we came to understand that any asset can be tokenized, and the first asset that can be tokenized is actually equity. Transforming equity into tokens can actually slim down barriers of adoption of Web3, but also of crowdfunding mechanism, because the process for buying tokens is way more lean. As we started engaging more, we started understanding that what we really wanted to provide was becoming a protocol or an infrastructure to bring companies on chain, but also the same infrastructure that can help DAOs operate in this ecosystem and connect both worlds, the Web2, Web3 companies on chain and the DAOs that are native blockchain companies. The first thing we did, we found out that we have a trilemma pain, which is basically finance. Obviously, tokenomics can be hard to explain, the fundraising method, the due diligence, legality. If we're in the security world, or companies, how do they work, or DAOs, again, complexity. And then obviously the tech, not now blockchain is becoming more easier, as we heard from the other startup. They're doing quite nice. So basically, obviously tech, user experience, whatnot. So how do we solve this trilemma? This is how we started creating our decentralized application. While we started with our MVP in a centralized application where we managed the whole funnel and it was an end-to-end, we broke down all of the know-how and we liberated ourselves from that pain, and we started creating a DApp, a full decentralized application that we can provide to any company for them to tokenize themselves, and then started getting into this journey with all the tools that we provided. From a token wizard, explaining them neatly through a nice user experience how to tokenize themselves, through a website wizard that we can create a landing together for them to sell their STOs, ICO, whatever they want to do. Then we have token management feature, both in Pulse, cap table management, decision making, community making, etc. And obviously the last piece is the ancillary service to the tokenization service, which is the experts. Either you need marketing, you need legal, or you need financial experts. We don't provide them ourselves, so we create an expert community with third service providers, being law firms, marketing agency, whatnot, and we connect both. So that's how we create an ecosystem of tokenization. We provide the tech, know-how, and technology, and other people can provide the ancillary services for them to be able to be tokenized. So this is how we come to the conclusion that what we're building is not a tokenization platform anymore, but an infrastructure. We're providing the infrastructure through a protocol that can allow companies to be tokenized and then connected to DAOs, which will also need infrastructure to be able to operate. So we see that the future is obviously going to be a token economy. Our business model is based on an issuance fee. Everything is paid through our BKN token, 5,000 USD. So the digitization process, and then we take a commission out of the token offering and the success rate that our clients will have. And then obviously through ancillary services, which is creating a marketplace full of experts that can help our clients tokenize, we take a commission of 20%, forcing them to actually get paid in our token to fulfill that funnel of use of the utility of the BKN token. Our go-to-market is we have three funnels. One to capture experts. We provided them with a new monetization service, which is helping tokenization and understanding blockchain. We got the issuers of tokenizing. We're doing very good with inbound and outbound. We're generating approximately 20 leads per week, and obviously connecting investors. We do have a hefty community. Our database is currently of 30,000 potential investors in STOs. And that's our marketing strategy. We've been in the market for 2 years. We got funded by the Spanish government with 350K. We got in the Spanish regulatory sandbox to create an STO exchange. We raised 2 million out of our community already. We're right now in our strategic round of 2.5, and this is the reason why we apply for this piece, to get to know UBCs and see who can help us build tomorrow's token economy with Bricken's protocol. Our C-level is basically people with very diverse backgrounds, very diverse countries, very diverse expertise. We have all become professors in different business schools and universities, just to show that we do have the expertise of what we're talking and how to implement tokenization at different levels, not only in the private sector, but also in the public sector. This is our token allocation. Right now, we are in the strategic round, selling 25 million. We can talk about all the valuation and that in a more private way. And thank you very much. That's actually 5 minutes of a pitch, and that will be all. Thank you.
Thank you, Edwin. You were perfect in timing. Any questions to Edwin and Brickken? Take your time, unmute yourself.
Hey, Edwin. Yeah, this is an area that I'm really fascinated by. So I was just, can you dive a little deeper on how you can avoid like compliance issues while securitizing companies, and which sort of companies is it suited for and which companies is it not suited for?
Yes, of course. I mean, basically, security becomes very complex when you have an intermediary acting as the one connecting the issuer with the investor, right? That's how it works. And then basically we are leaning that by just giving the technology to the company and then doing their own crowd service by themselves. So that becomes more lighter on how securities are applied. Furthermore, we are giving the tech so the company themselves, they can choose the jurisdiction where they want to supply the issuance of the STO. Again, making it more lean. I'm not pushing them into my Spanish jurisdiction or my European regulations. So I'm giving them the opportunity to diverge and go wherever they want. For example, we can go to wherever you want, or you want to play the hardest game, you go to the United States. So it's kind of like this freedom of movement that allows them to become more lean. Furthermore, if there's some things that they want to amplify, we do have now agreements with over 50 law firms in different countries. So if they want to issue a token, for example, I'm going to make it up. Singapore, we connected with our law firm in Singapore. They grab the tech, connect with the law firm, and they issue their own security in Singapore.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carmelo. Any other questions to Edwin?
Hey, Edwin. I wanted to ask a bit more on that same topic. Could you describe what your target market looks like and who your current customers are? And, what is their goal in tokenizing their asset or their business? Is it just to create a little bit more of decentralization and ownership? Or are they looking to bring in more funding for exchange and revenue redistribution? And what sort of liability does that put you guys at?
Okay, perfect. So I think you pretty much answered your question in the sense that that's what they're looking for. We started attacking more like Web2 real estate. That's actually how we began, trying to tokenize real estate. And then we went for digital companies that had a digital product, because what we're amplifying through our know-how and also the company, through a protocol, is that the security, the STO, is just a token. But that token will be fungible. So you can transform it also and put utility into that STO. So it's kind of like you hybrid client with investor and investor with client. And that's something that they find super interesting, because now they're understanding that the blockchain projects actually, they become successful based on something that we all know, which is the building of a community. So that will also giving them that ability and know-how as to how to build community, creating their Discord servers or whatnot. The liability for me is non-existent, because in the end, I'm a tech provider, which I provide just a source code that can transform into that dashboard with a token wizard, with a KYC compliance service, with the voting poll, so they can connect with the community, with all these functionalities that can help them manage now their new status into Web3 since the company has been tokenized. So for me, I just have a big disclaimer, and I'm saying I'm wishing them the best of luck, but obviously not saying that I'm not gonna be taking care of there. No, actually, my job is super hard. I have to, every time there's new know-how of a new token issuance, I have to see what are the functionalities that I can add and supply to my future clients. So in that sense, I'm just providing them the opportunity for them to tokenize. And now I'm targeting a lot Web3 companies, because they do have an ICO. They understand the token world. And now VCs in this conversation, you have actually tell me that I'm in the right way, because some VCs are actually saying, what about your equity? So perfect. Let's blend everything that we know. We can blend in the tokenized equity. We can blend in your ICO. I take care of that tokenized equity. You invite new VCs. You fulfill that crowdfunding method. And that way we can go into a new token economy.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Sasha.
Thank you, Sasha. Okay, so I think the rest of the questions you can discuss privately with investors who want to follow up, right, Edwin? Thanks a lot for your presentation.
Thank you.
You can stop screen share. Okay, now it is stopped. Thanks again. And I want to invite now the startup from Germany, Joshua Sigala, and the company is the Standart. Joshua, are you ready to pitch? Please unmute yourself. Your microphone is muted.
All right.
Okay, good. Joshua, we have a lot of investors today from Germany, so make your bet.
Good luck. We are in Berlin here. I'm actually Australian, but I've lived in Berlin for 10 years. And yeah, my name is Joshua Sigala. I've been in Bitcoin since late 2010, built one of the earliest exchanges, and it's still going, called Voltoro. Launched in 2015 after the Mt. Gox collapse. And now we're tackling the stablecoin protocol space, because stablecoins are one of the most important industries in the space, and it's a massive opportunity to get it right, especially we can see from the whole Luna debacle, something real is needed. So the exponential growth of stablecoins is absolutely insane. After 2020 is really when we saw at Vaultoro a lot more people wanting to accept stable coins instead of Bitcoin and Ethereum on their invoices, and that was a really marked moment in 2020, and we saw that growth up to $200 billion in stablecoins minted by 2022, and is set to reach 1 trillion by 2025. So there's a lot more space to go. The problem is, you can see it's all USD based, a lot of very centralized, and a lot of issues with centralized coins, as well as with obviously the algorithmic space is a bit of a joke. So what is the standard? The standard comes from the gold standard. We running the exchange. It was the first Bitcoin physical gold exchange, Vaultoro, and so we have really deep understanding of the gold industry, the physical bullion industry, but also the crypto industry. We were the first to launch, we're the first exchange to launch the Lightning Network back in the day. And one of the things that we really started to know is, hey, there's $5 trillion worth of bullion sitting in vaulting facilities around the world. So, but the other thing is, how do we build a true over-collateralized stablecoin protocol? Well, and how does it work? Well, people say they want to buy a car, they've got some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, maybe some tokenized gold. They send it to a smart contract that only they hold the keys to. They lock that up, and then they generate S euro, S yen, S dollar, S Great British pound, S Aussie dollar, whatever their liquidity they need. And then they buy the car. The inflation pays off their debt for them slowly. And when they want to have the underlying collateral out, they obviously go and buy the S euro back off the secondary market, pay off the loan, and hey presto, they've got their underlying collateral back. But what do we do different? Some of these already happen. MakerDAI is obviously something that comes to mind. Well, we're really the next generation. MakerDAI came first, and being first out of the gates, you also make a lot of mistakes. So we're taking the best of the best ideas, as well as a lot of innovations that we're building ourselves to build the full next generation of stablecoins. So I'm not talking just euros. Obviously, it's a multi-stablecoin output. So the first one, the MVP, is launching with euros. It'll be yen, dollar, basically all the major fiats to build a blockchain-based FX market. And I'll be definitely interested talking to Palm as well about integrating that. Fully over-collateralized, fully transparent, so people can always see that there's more value locked up than there is stablecoins rolling about. And 0% interest, rather than having a stability fee like Maker, we have 0% interest because our stability mechanism is slightly different. What happens there is we've already got people saying, man, I want to convert my mortgage to the standard loan and basically not pay interest on my mortgage. So there's lots of great opportunities there. Auto collateral swaps. So if collateral starts to drop in value a lot, it'll swap across to like tokenized gold or something like that, stop you getting liquidated, and all managed by a DAO, decentralized autonomous organization. Speaking of DAO, this is the standard token. This is what you guys will be investing in. This is the opportunity. Basically, every fee that's collected on the network drops down into the standard token holders. Not every, some of it's back to the protocol to pay for expansion. But imagine if you could have an opening and closing fee of every single loan that's happening from every single bank in every single currency around the world. And this is exactly the opportunity that we're offering. So the roadmap, we launched a white paper in June 2021 to sort of get some feedback. In August 23rd, we raised 2.5 million over a weekend because we built a stellar team. A lot of people know me on the industry because it's been around a while. And yeah, so that's what happened. Very, very soon, we're launching the S Euros, the MVP, through an initial bonding curve offering, similar to FI protocol, and launching private vaults, the mechanism of users locking up funds in Q1 2023. Our ecosystem and partnerships are growing like crazy. Our focus is on DeFi to really get liquidity up first, and then rolling out to NFT marketplace. We've got partnership with gaming, the GameFi space. They all want stable coins in their local currency. People understand how much stuff costs in their local currency and not really ETH. Our co-founding team is me, Anna Valdez is a London School of Economics alumni. Philip Shigella wrote the original Voltoro from the ground up. He also was the first to implement the Lightning Network, Bitcoin Lightning Network in the world, covered by multiple magazines. Simon Morley worked on developing WAP for Nokia. Great team, absolutely stellar. We have top advisory board, Patrick Friedman, grandson of Milton Friedman, also the son of David D. Friedman. He's an amazing mind and building startup cities. And he's very interested in having our protocol as the base monetary protocol of startup cities. Hartej Sawhney is the godfather, the grandfather, I should say, of smart contract auditing. He literally started the entire industry when Ethereum started.
Yeah, Joshua, sorry for interrupting you, but you are
sorry, that's it.
No worries. I know that as every founder, you can continuously talk about your project, and that's very appealing. But let's discuss the remaining questions in Q&A session with investors. So please, do you have questions to Joshua? Don't forget to unmute yourself. I don't believe that there are no questions. Everything was so clear. Maybe comments, feedback.
Yeah, any feedback would be great too.
So I can tell you, Joshua, that there are many requests for introductions. So I'll be doing the introductions in private now.
All right, great.
Mark, thanks a lot for saying this. And Joshua, you can see that when there are no questions publicly, it does not always mean that this is bad. Sometimes it means that everything is so clear that it's enough to make the first stop-go decision for investors and to request for personal introduction in order to follow up privately.
Wow,
so I
thanks.
hope that we will make this interest soon. Mark will organize this, and you will explain all the remaining aspects to investors face to face.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joshua. You can now stop your screen share. Yep. And by the way, to all the founders here, please, guys, don't forget to keep your pitch deck attached to your startup profile on InnMind updated, because it's really a shame when investors are asking us for the pitch deck for the recent one, and we don't see it on your startup profile and spend extra time checking where is the new deck. So please keep this in mind. And I want to invite to pitch last but not least for today, the startup from Emirates, and it is called Emirex. And the head of growth, Ismail Bagosher. Ismail, are you ready?
Yes, just sharing my screen. Great, can you guys see that?
Yes, can you make it a little bit bigger if possible?
Bigger. No? I'm going to try. Give me a
Yeah, it's okay.
Is it okay?
Please go on, Ismail. 5 minutes yours.
Thank you, guys. So I'm going to be talking about Emirex today. It's a centralized exchange based in the UAE. So we were formed in 2019, completely bootstrapped, and it is currently revenue generating. We were break even up until Q2 this year when we decided to scale the team considerably. We've got 11,000 active traders and 110,000 registered users. We've got crypto trading licenses in Estonia, Lithuania, and an OTC license in Dubai. We're also currently waiting for our crypto trading licenses in UAE, UK, Canada, Australia, and St. Vincent, which will allow us to operate pretty much anywhere in the world. Our main goal is to accelerate adoption of Web3 in the MENA region by providing all of the necessary tools and infrastructure. So Emirex so far has built a scalable organizational structure. We've got around 60 people, and all of them are capable to work remotely. We recently launched V2 of our platform that has several features like social trading and bot trading. and got some profound financial infrastructure like European banks, liquidity providers, and card acquirers. The entire Emirex ecosystem can be divided into three main pillars. The first one is for the users, where we have a trading platform and an asset management platform. For businesses, we do IEOs, listing services, and market making. And for traditional businesses or non-crypto, we provide consultations and also white label exchange services. The current challenges that we're trying to solve within the market is users don't really understand how to navigate the market in terms of the different kind of products that are out there. And also the tooling is a bit more difficult for countries that are kind of less Web3 versed. And it's very hard to get access to yield strategies or yield opportunities, within several clicks. For businesses, it's hard to get affordable listings in licensed exchanges, as well as Web2 businesses, especially in the Middle East, find it very hard to onboard themselves into crypto because of the lack of payment processing infrastructure. Our solution is essentially to create, and we've already created, a easy-to-use platform that's a bit more gamified. It's got social trading, grid trading, and various other features. We've created passive and easy yield opportunities using bots. And of course, we've got our fiat on and off ramp infrastructure and customer support. For B2B, we obviously offer a local exchange that's licensed internationally and got European credibility. We also offer a payments ecosystem that also includes merchant solutions and debit cards, crypto debit cards. Again, businesses also get direct customer support. Our vision for the Emirex ecosystem is basically to contain a digital bank and a decentralized element, all of which is kind of surrounding the centerpiece, which is the centralized exchange. We are on our way to get our EMI license in the UK to operate our digital bank, and we're already in conversations with multiple card providers to release our crypto debit cards. In terms of our decentralized arm, we've already got a cross-chain DEX operating within 7 chains. Swapping, staking, farming, and liquidity mining is already live, with lending and NFT currently being developed. Our roadmap for the end of this year is to become a top 50 exchange and to also launch our other products like peer-to-peer and DCA, which is discount cost averaging, as well as futures. We would also like to penetrate into the OTC market. As I mentioned before, we already have our OTC license and we already started brokering a few deals in Dubai, and hopefully get to 100,000 active users. By the end of 2023, we aim to be a top 25 exchange, launch our next investment round, and also obtain around 200,000 active users. By the end of 2024, we aim to have at least 20% of our revenue coming from tokenized securities. We are already in conversations with the legislators, as I mentioned before, and our CEO, Gregory, who's also present on this call, is very experienced in this space, having worked for several governments, including the UAE and Uzbekistan, in the same field. We'd also like to expand our geographical footprint to North Africa and obtain 500,000 active users. By 2025, we want to be a top 10 exchange with 1 million users, and of course have 20% of our revenues coming from our other financial services products like merchant solutions and payment processing. Some of the competition that we've funneled at the moment is Gemini, mainly because they're commonly known for their asset management and wealth management solutions. Bitmart for their altcoins. Rain and CoinMina are our local competitors. As you will see, Emirex is the only local exchange that offers asset management, yield farming, and IEO while still being European, having European credibility or European licenses. Some of our advantages over regional exchanges include our tier 1 partnerships and obviously our licenses. In terms of fintechs within the region, we obviously have access to deep liquidity through our partnerships with other exchanges globally and our liquidity providers. Foreign exchanges find it very difficult to operate within the MENA region because they do not know the local requirements, nor are they nimble when it comes to bespoke solutions.
this part here, I just wanted to mention that we also work a lot. We do a lot of bespoke work. We work with, for example, SumSub to tokenize KYC, which is an ongoing project. We also work with Gift, which is a loyalty software that is provided to 50 banks around the world. They have 65 million users. We're doing a first-in-kind conversion of loyalty points into crypto. As I mentioned, we launched our social trading beta this month. Users can track and observe active traders, and they can also mirror their trades, either doing it manually or automating it. Our bots also went live this month, and they're generating returns of anywhere between 0.1 and 0.3% daily. These are some of our partners. Our KYCs are done by SumSub. Our data feeds are coming from Chainlink, and our payment processing is done by SEPA. This is the team. Grigori, as I mentioned, is an ex-MD at Accenture and also worked and consulted for government officials in UAE and Uzbekistan. We have the ex-CMO of Gemini to work as our CMO. Dennis he's launched 3 exchanges, which are top 50, Whitebit, P2P, and Coinsbit. Myself, and we've got ex-PwC and CFA, top 10th percentile CFA as our COO and CFO respectively.
Ismail, I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No
but
worries.
you know, yeah, you're over time. So questions to Ismail about Emirex. And VC investors, I welcome you to ask questions or give your comments.
So what's the valuation so far?
The valuation, 30 mil actually.
So may shows us the file, Ismail.
Sorry?
Slide. You might go to the next slide. Oh, previous.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
previous one.
There you go.
Thank you.
And I just saw on previous slide, you have the minimum investment ticket size 500K, right, or not?
Yeah, we're always open to strategic. I mean, you mentioned earlier that there's a lot of value add coming from the investors here. We placed this as a minimum check because we were fundraising from angel investors in Dubai, which we've successfully brought on.
Gotcha. Any more questions? Ivan?
Yeah, I just wanted to.
Yeah, Samar.
Yeah.
Please.
I just wanted to understand, I mean, how was your revenue been like in the last 2 quarters?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
I think it was the question about revenue in the last 2 quarters, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Considering that this is going live, perhaps we can discuss that offline.
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic.
All of us are curious to know the numbers.
Let's all have a chat post this call.
Okay. Any more questions that are not considering confidential information? Further, Jonathan, you kept so silent this time. Do you have any questions?
And not so far. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Sharuya. No. Okay, I think that everything is clear for the moment. So Ismail, thanks a lot. I think it was a great presentation and impressive traction on Bootstrap mode. Great job. And we will follow up shortly with you after collecting feedback from VCs and starting making introductions for follow-up, okay?
Sounds great.
Thanks a lot, Ismail. And let me take 1 more minute of your time and ask investors one simple question. Please, guys, every VC investor says that traction is important for the decision-making. What kind of startup traction you pay the most attention to? I mean, it can be marketing traction, yeah, business development, product development, whatever else. So what traction do you want and require to see from a startup that is asking you for funding? Who wants to start?
Your questions are never simple, Nelly. Users and volume, I guess.
Users involvement. So you mean
users and volume.
Users and volume.
Yeah. I mean, it really depends on the project, right? So generally, that's the two.
So customer acquisition, translating to the startup terms, yeah, and volume without any
volume of transactions. If it's an exchange traded volume, I mean, whatever game volume of, I don't know, market. I mean, whatever it is in a different business, it will be different volume, right?
Fully agree. Anything to add to what Ivan said?
I mean, generally, as if I put my investor hat on when I do, it's about checking out the smart contracts, checking GitHub, making sure the community is actually real and not just a bunch of marketers.
Great. Thank you, Joshua, for this edition. Anything else to add?
Yeah, I think just to, I definitely agree with Ivan. You know, if you're starting up a company, especially in this climate, you know, a year and a half after the most recent big bull cycle, it really comes down to track history. And sometimes that means case history and providing investors information on the progress that you're making, because typically you're not seeing investors taking risks on projects that haven't developed products yet. So just showcasing and highlighting that you've actually started to do what you say you're going to do, you started generating revenue, and then you have a plan to take that further and scale it up.
Great, Sasha. Thanks for elaborating a lot. I'm asking you this question, guys, because sometimes from the founders, especially on this bear market, when it is very hard to raise funds from VCs, founders are asking me, come on, when we were on a pitch deck level, they asked for an MVP. We built an MVP, they are asking for community. We built the community, they are still asking for some numbers. Give me the clarity. What investors want to hear, to see in our project? Yeah, what kind of traction? So clarity is important here. Any more comments from the VC side?
I think for the infrastructure or like some consensus there, look deeply into the protocol. The code itself is kind of important, especially in this bear market, to figure out the fundamental like technical barriers. And shout out to and echoing all the opinions above all the VCs. I think for the application, community is important, and it's kind of hard. And because the market sentiment, especially in the bear market, is hard for them to capture all the community. So how do they manage the community is important for application. And about the open finance or DeFi projects, I think how the go-to-market strategy and their revenue streams is important for us at this. So yeah, there's some thought about the infrastructure or the DeFi projects or application projects that we consider important and critical, and we would love to know more. And if the project got this, there will be some good potential in our opinions.
That is great example of the proverb, best product never wins, which means that it's not enough to get great tech, yeah, or great product. You need to prove that you are able to deliver it, to distribute to potential users and customers, right?
Good, exactly.
Yeah, thank you, Joy. It's very relevant indeed. Any more comments from the season? Okay, if not, I don't want to annoy you and make you tired. Really appreciate, guys, of your contribution and attention to this session. And we will follow up right after the session with all the list of the startups pitching today, their pitch decks, startup profiles, and everything. And of course, we are extremely happy to make personal introductions between interested VCs and founders that you want to talk with. So just let us know, let to know Mark, our VC analyst, whom of the founders you want to talk with, and we will immediately make intro and help you with follow-up. Thanks a lot and good luck with your deals. Have a beautiful evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Nelly.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.